My name is Jamie Banks and I'm from New Plymouth. As you can see, I'm a little bit Asian, and actually I thought I was half Chinese up until I was about 22 years old, and then I found out I was actually quarter Chinese and quarter Spanish. So that was a bit of a revelation. I was a really happy child, and life was pretty exciting, and I had lots of friends. And then probably around the time of year 11, so I was about 15 years old, I started to head down a pretty slippery slope of negative thinking and negative feelings, and within a year or so I was actually at the point where I'd be too scared to call my friends on the phone. So I sort of had a big religious confusion. I had issues about how I looked. The love life thing wasn't happening at all. You know, sporting success completely disappeared. Academic success was really not what it had been as well. So there's a whole lot of things together at the same time, which was quite difficult for me to deal with. But I think it's how I responded to that that made it even worse. You know, I mean, those things were bad enough for me at the time. You know, I think that with depression, it's very normal to think that it's just not going to end. I think if you've got a kind of depression where that's not the case, you're probably one of the lucky few. So, you know, I think in some people's cases it's a few weeks, in some people it's a few months where they just can't see themselves ever getting out of it. In my case, it was 8 years, and it was horrible. Like I wanted to wish myself out of existence, really. Perhaps the one thing that kept me going or made me think that things would be better was, you know, once I got a girlfriend. That was huge for me. Like I thought, as soon as I get a girlfriend, you know, the depression will go. It's just, you know, just the fate of a single man to feel this way, sort of thing. But I was really in denial, because that was never going to be the answer. Because again, when I did have a relationship, I brought that same negative mindset to it. I just kind of enjoyed going to sleep at night because I wanted to get away from the real world, and you know, at least when you fall asleep, there's a possibility you might have an exciting dream, kind of thing. But yeah, in the real world, it was just, I just hated being alive, to be honest. Yeah. In some ways, particularly if you've been in depression for a long time, depression can get a little bit comfortable, and ironically, it's breaking, because we are comfortable with it, that it makes it so hard to get over it. And I think that's something that other people can't understand. You know, they think you're just being lazy, but it's actually, you know, depressive thinking can be an addiction like any other, and it does take a lot of hard work to get yourself out of it. One thing that I sort of picked up along the way was the idea of affirmations, but not your stereotypical affirmations in the sense that, you know, I'm a great person. Because I think when you're feeling like, you know, when you're feeling that low, the idea I'm a great person is actually really hard to digest or believe, or, you know, it just doesn't ring true. So I used to carry, instead of that kind of affirmation, I used to carry these cards around with me. And one of them said, for example, you're greater than you think you are. And that's a lot more you know, that was really believable to me. Sometimes you need to talk to yourself like a coach, you know, to really sort of enthuse yourself. And sometimes you need to talk to yourself like a parent and soothe yourself. And I think it's knowing which voice to use, which is really, really important, and just coming up with creative things or stock phrases you can use on yourself when you're feeling low. Or, like I say, making your own little pack of cards, and when you're feeling low, just pull them out and have a look. And those sorts of things can definitely help. I mean, they're not the answer, but they're definitely an important tool. At the time, depression felt like the worst thing that had ever happened to me. But because I was able to learn from it, I turned it into the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm unbelievably blessed, I think, to have gone through the process of you know, very, very deep depression.